So, this is the learning outcome number 3. For the first part, I list 4 dates that they may not be really important, but they can be related to the next concepts that we're going to watch in the next pages. The first event was the attack to the Twin Towers, then the invention of the digital camera, the acquisition of Bimbo in the USA, and the fall of the Berlin Wall. Let's move to the second part. The first concept we're going to see is globalization. This is defined as a process by which businesses or other organizations develop international influence or start operating on an international scale. The event that I relate to this concept was the acquisition of Bimbo in the USA on 2012. It was supposed that Bimbo was a Mexican brand, but after Sara Lee's bread businesses acquired this business, it became the largest bread maker in the world in terms of sales. Then we have the terrorism. This is the unlawful use of violence and intimidation, and in most of the cases, this is to pursue political aims. The event that I relate to this was the attack to the Twin Towers in 2001. Was a series of 4 suicide bombings committed today in the United States mentioned by 19 members of the jihadist network Al-Qaeda by hijacking commercial aircraft to be impacted against various objectives. Then we have the unipolar world. This is a scenario where most of the world regions' economic, social, and cultural aspects are influenced by a single state or a country. The event that I relate was the fall of the Berlin Wall, because this was considered as the first of a series of events bringing to the period known as the Cold War to an end. From a state of military multipolarity, the world had progressed to one of bipolarity, to the current situation of unipolarity. Then we have the digital era. This is the historical period characterized by the existence of digital technology. In here, I put the invention of the digital camera in 1975. This was the first camera in history that was invented by Kodak. It was 4 years ago, and the architect of the invention is Steve Sisson, an engineer that still works for this company. The part 3 consists on a series of questions. The first one is, why did globalization emerge? So, it arises as a response to the globalization. This is imposed by the large financial and political organizations and multinationals that exercise control over institutions and over society. The second question is, in most cases, what caused the terrorist attacks of 20th century? Well, there are various reasons that inspire terrorists. As I said before, most of the terrorist attacks are because of political aims, but some students of terrorism classify them into 3 categories: rational, psychological, and cultural. A terrorist can be formed by combinations of these 3. Then we have, how does the end of the Cold War relate with the unipolar world? Well, I personally think because the wave of the military state became from a multipolar to a bipolar world. This led to the combination of these 2 factors and made the situation change to a unipolar world. And finally, how has the digital era influenced today's society? I've heard that most of the people consider the digital era as an invasive one. This because there's such a degree that people that can become dependent on a relationship created through technology and neglect what authentically happens around them. Also, the communication is a problem, a very common problem among the families.